In this movie, we're going to look at customizing your keyboard shortcuts. To do that, go up to the Final Cut Pro menu and select Commands, and you'll see the option that says Customize. Now, the first thing you'll want to do before you start customizing your keyboard is to select Default and actually make a duplicate of that command set. For now, I'll call it Copy of Default. Now that I'm working in the duplicate, let's go ahead and see how this command editor works. Well, the first thing I can do is, if I don't know what the keyboard shortcut is for something, I can search for it one of two ways. If I know where it is in the menu pull-down, I can search by my menu command list, which, as you see, tracks the same way as it does from left to right, here from top to bottom. I can also search by the type of editing I'm doing, whether it's effects or general or marking, and if you notice, this color code maps to these keys. But I think the easiest way is to simply type the command that I want to find the keyboard shortcut of, or to modify. And I'm going to just do undo. U-N-D-O. What is the keyboard shortcut for undo changes? Well, it's Command Z. So if you want to find out what the keyboard shortcut is for any command you seem to do over and over again, simply type it into the search box. Now, I would like to point one thing out. If you're working on a laptop or on a system without a full-size keyboard, you won't see this area to the right. You'll just see the main keyboard. Final Cut Pro is smart enough to see what type of keyboard is attached to your system, so when you modify it, it works correctly. The other thing I can do is simply assign a keyboard shortcut when there's not one there. So, for instance, if I wanted to assign a keyboard shortcut to the share activity of Apple devices, something I find I'm doing at the end of every program, I can go ahead and find a key to assign it to. Now, whenever you press on any key, for instance, I'll press on the A key, I can see over here exactly what keyboard shortcuts are assigned to that key and with what modifiers. So in this case, no modifier at all is the arrow tool, and Command A is Select All. Nothing is assigned to the Shift or the Option key. Now, in the case of share, I think I want to use something with the letter S. So I'm going to go ahead and press the S key, and as you can see, I do have some available registers. I'm going to go ahead and use Shift Command for when I share to an Apple device. So I need to find out exactly where the Apple device is, and instead of scrolling, I'm going to go ahead and simply type APPLE, and there we are, Share Apple Devices. I'm going to click and hold and drag this directly onto the keyboard shortcut that I want applied to this activity. Once I'm done modifying my keyboard, I can simply close the window. Now, good policy says you should save before you close, but if you forget, Final Cut will remind you to save when you're exiting the command editor window. We've created a custom keyboard shortcut, and I want to show you a couple more things in our command library. As you can see, you can import or export any of your command sets. So if you create a command set on one computer and you want to move it to another computer, it's as simple as exporting it from the first one and importing it to the next one. Now, what if I wanted to delete the copy of the default command set that I created? It's as simple as going back to Customize and clicking on the same drop-down menu that we created the duplicate with, but in this case, selecting the duplicate command set, in this case, Copy of Default, and pressing Delete. As you can see, creating a custom keyboard command set is pretty simple in Final Cut Pro.